Hello students, today we are going to verify the Hagen-Bosley equation. The same thing has been given and explained in your class. Okay, Hagen's equation. We are going to verify this, and the boundary condition for the given problem is shown here, that we are using one oil having a velocity of 1 meters per second, average velocity. The dia of the pipe is 100 mm, and secondly the length of the pipe is 10 meter. Then the density of the fluid is 930 kg per meter cube. The value of dynamic viscosity is 0.1 Newton second per meter square. So this value is given in Pascal second. So if you are going to see that the value of Reynolds number in this problem is about 930, so that means the flow is laminar. So first of all we have to create the model. So I am going to click the workbench, and then it will going to open a window like this. Then I am going to drag this ANSYS CFX, fluid flow CFX here. Then I am going to double click the geometry, and after double clicking the geometry, this designer window was opened. The first step is to click the unit, that is millimeter, and then in this draw panel, so what I have done is I will going to select the axis plane first. So I am selecting XY plane. So better would be to have an XY plane here, or instead of that, if you want to have a flow in X direction, the best thing, you have to select a YZ plane. So I am going to select the YZ plane, and then I am going to click this sketching tab here. Okay, and I will recheck whether the unit is millimeter or not. Then after I am going to select circle from this draw panel. Then I am going to draw this thing like this, and now I am going to see the dimension. I am click the general, and then I'm going to dimension it. It is the value of diameter. Diameter is 100 mm, so I have given 100 mm on the left hand side, that is d1 is equal to 100 mm. Then I am going to extrude it. I am going to click on extrude. Then I am going to select the geometry. If you are going to select the geometry, you have to go to this YZ plane, then you have to select the sketch, then you have to put the apply, you have to add the material, and then in the depth type you have to write it as 10 meters. 10 meters means 10,000 mm. So I have placed 10,000 here, and then I will going to click generate. So a long lengthy pipe of 10 meter will going to be generated here. So exactly we are replicating the geometry here. Now we are going to close this up. After closing this, okay, after closing this, the next step is to do the meshing. So I am going to click the meshing tab. So meshing module should open. Better practice is that every time when you are opening another tab, you should save the file first. So as I am going to open this, and after doing the meshing, I will going to save, but you guys have a practice that after doing the geometry, then save the name, save the whole project. That will be the good practice. Okay, so as soon as I have opened this one, so it will going to give you results like this. Overall progress is going on. The pipe has been opened. The pipe will be shown here. Okay, this is the pipe I'm talking about. Now on this pipe, I am going to click on the mesh. I am going to increase the relevance from 0 to 80%. Then I am going to increase the relevance center from coarse to fine. Okay, that is sufficient right now, because first of all we have to learn how to do the analysis, then we are going to see how to do the tweaking. So this is the thing. So this will be the inlet phase. So I am selecting this inlet phase and right clicking on it, and then I am going to have the create name selection, and here I am going to write inlet. So this phase will going to have the name inlet here, see in the name selection. Then this will be the wall. I am going to give the name wall here, and then in the same way I am going to select this file, this phase, sorry, and then I'm going to give it name outlet. Yes, after doing this I will going to generate the mesh. click the generate mesh option on the top with that yellow icon, and as soon as it has been done, you can see that you are having one quad element mesh here. See, this is a quad element mesh all over the surface, all over the body, right? Right now I have not taken the inflation layer like the way I have done in the first tutorial, but here I am just considering because I have to verify this pressure drop. I have to do it like this. Okay, so still the quality, if you are going to see the statistics, that what is the amount of elements we have generated, that is 1,45,000 elements have been generated, and nodes are 1,60,000 nodes approximately. So I am closing this one now. The next step is to update the mesh. On the mesh, I am going to right click and then I am going to click the update. So the complete data which was generated in mesh will going to be uploaded in this setup part. So in the setup part, if you want to double click it, it should be in the practice that you should first of all update the mesh. As soon as you are going to update the mesh, it will going to have a refresh sign here. Now I am going to save it, and I am going to name it Hagen Flow 1. No, I am going to name it as CFX Tute 4 HEGN Hagen. That's all. Now I am going to click the setup button, double click the setup button, and as soon as I am going to double click the setup button, this CFX pre-processing module must open. Okay, yes, it is opening now. Now this is the module we are talking about. Now what we have to do is, first of all, the first step is to define the analysis type. The analysis type is study, so I am going to select study as it is. There is no other thing I have to select. There is no multi-field coupling, nothing like multi-field, or you may say any kind of fluid structure interaction is going on, so there is no need to select anything here. So you are going to say none. And then steady state, so you are going to steady state, select the steady state and apply. Then you are going to click the default domain, and in the default domain I am going to select oil here. In this material option, I am going to select the oil if it is available, and if it is not, then I am going to use something else. Okay, so it's having a constant property liquid, so let's see, it is having water here. Any other thing it is having? No, so it is better to use the water data. Okay, and I can import the library. There is a way to import the library, but the best thing is you can give the material values here itself. So instead of that water, I am going to use oil here now. So I am closing it. First, before selecting the material, I am just selecting the fluid model. So I am going for fluid model here. There is no heat transfer involved, so heat transfer model will be none, because the value of a Reynolds number is 930. So the turbulence model will be none, and it will be laminar, so it is okay. Now in this panel, in the tree, you can see here material is there. On material, I am going to write insert. In that, I am going to write click material, and I am going to name it as oil. And in the oil, oil is a kind of a pure substance. There is no confusion in it. Okay, there will be a material description, there will be thermodynamic description, there will be material, like everything you can write about materials. Then material property, molar mass density. I'm just not thinking about molar mass because it will not going to make any effect until unless you are having any kind of in this heat transfer analysis. So right now I am writing 930 kg per meter cube because the unit is 930 kg per meter cube here. Okay, so this is 930 kg per meter cube. Now in the transport property, if you are going to see in the transport property, if you are going to see dynamic viscosity is there. So I am going to click the dynamic viscosity, and in the dynamic viscosity I am going to write the value of that is dynamic viscosity, that is equals to 0.1 Pascal second. You know 0.1 Pascal second is equals to the same value. Here I am having the same unit also, so I am using Newton second per meter square equals to 0.1. Then I am going to apply it and okay. I feel there is no more properties are needed for solving this problem. Now we are again going to click the this default domain, and in the default domain I am going to select the material, and in the material you can see when I am going to click, oil is there already. So I am going to take oil here as it is, and then I am going to apply, and then I am going to click OK. The next step is to define the boundary condition, that is inlet boundary condition. So I am going to give the name inlet velocity. So I am going to click inlet velocity here. The type of boundary here is inlet, and the location of the boundary is inlet. This is where we have selected the named selection. And now we are going to move to the boundary details, and in the boundary details I am going to write the value of velocity, that is 1 meters per second. Then I am going to apply it, and then I am going to click OK. So you can see here, as soon as I have clicked inlet velocity, one arrow was made here. Next step is to define the wall. So I am going to write wall of pipe. Okay, wall of pipe, and in the wall of pipe I am going to define the type of boundary, it is wall. What is the location of this particular wall? This is the named selection. So you can see on the right hand side that the green color of wall has been selected. Now in the boundary details I am going to take it as no slip boundary condition, and then I am going to click OK. The next step is to define the last boundary condition, that is outlet. So I am going to click outlet here, outlet. And in the outlet I am going to select say by default it is have taken outlet, else we should go for selecting the outlet name location from the list itself. Now we are going to see boundary here. So I am going to select static pressure here, because atmospheric pressure is the outside pressure. So I am writing 0 because reference pressure is what 1 atmospheric pressure. So I will go to click OK here. Now I am going to move to the solution control. I should click on the solution control in the solver part. We have done the pre-processing. Now we are going to set the process solving part. Maximum number of iterations I require is 1000. I will not going to move more than 1000, although it will going to converge well before that. And the convergence criteria is 1 e to the power of -4. I will going to take it as 1 e to the power of -3, because for a simple problem like this I don't want to have such criteria, convergence criteria. Now I am going to click OK. Now the next step will be going to save this whole thing, and I'm going to click the save button here. After doing so, I am going to click on the solution, and I'm going to right click on it and even you can right click on and click edit, or you can double click it. This window will going to open. There is no need to set up anything. You just have to start run, hit the start run button here. So as soon as you are going to start run button here, the window will going to open. The solution will going to start. This one is the right hand side. You are going to have the idea about the all the conditions, like what is the orthogonal quality, what is the aspect ratio. Okay, like that you are going to define. And on the left hand side you are going to have the residual graph. Inside the residual graph, you are going to say how the values are getting variated. We are only solving two equations, that is one is continuity equation and second one is momentum equation. We are not at all solving any kind of energy equation. So the solution will move on. Okay, so meanwhile I am going to probably possible that this will going to converge very easily. It will not going to take more than 20 iterations, I feel. Already u momentum and this P mass continuity equation, then V momentum and W momentum have been converged. Only U momentum is requiring some time. So see here, as soon as this green line will going to touch the 1 e to the power of -3 line, this solution will going to stop, and you can see here iterations are going on, and the solution has been done. So as soon as you are going to get this solver run finished normally, you are going to click OK. Result file has been generated. The next step is to see you are going to get the tick mark here, green tick mark here, and now result is open for you for doing the post processing. Now I am going to click the post processing part, that is result part, and when I am going to click the result part, I would like to close this one solver part, because it will going to acquire some this memory. So this is the pipe. You can't see a pipe, I feel, because it is in wireframe model. So if as soon as I am going to click the default domain and going to select this particular boundary, you are going to see, okay, this is the where the pipe is. Now I am going to take a plane here. First of all, I am going to take a center plane, and that center plane will be on in which direction? It will be on XY plane. So I am going to click OK, and I am going to remove this wall here. And then you can see that in the pipe I am having one plane like this exactly at the center. Now I am going to hide the plane by unticking it. Now I am going to select the contour, and I am going to give the name as velocity contour name, and then in the velocity contour I am going to select the location, where the location is the center plane, and the variable I want to plot is velocity in x direction, and I'm going to apply it. The number of contours it will going to have will be 11. I will going to take it as 25, and I'm going to click apply. And when I'm going to see the diagram normally, you could see that how exactly the fluid is flowing, and it is making what it is making the flow maximum at the center and minimum at the outlet. See, this is how velocity at boundaries are 0 and velocity at center is high. Okay. Although we have given 1.6, although we have given 1 meters per second velocity only, but the maximum velocity is showing you is 1.6. There should not happen like this. Not at all should happen like this. Now the next step is to take the reason behind is the mesh we have taken is very coarse. That is why it has happened. The next step is to take a center line where we want to plot the pressure drop. Okay, so the coordinates, as per the coordinate, I am going to take the center point of the inlet face and center point of the outlet face. As the pipe is drawn in x direction, so I am going to take 10 meters at the extreme end, and point 1 will going to have 0 at the inlet end, and then I am going to take approximately 1000 points for this, and I am going to click apply. Because all other coordinates will going to be 0 0 0 on this particular plane when I am talking about center of the pipe. Okay, like this. So you can see the pipe is this pipe is having one line exactly at the center, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a chart. This will going to be a pressure drop chart. In the pressure drop chart, I am going to click type of graph is XY graph. Now I am going to go for the data series. In the data series, I am going to select the location of the line. So I am going to select line 1 is where I want to draw. Then in the x-axis, I am going to draw the distance, that is x distance. Direction of flow is x, and y-axis should be pressure. So this is by default taken as pressure, so it is okay, and then I am going to click apply. When I have clicked apply, the value of this particular pressure at 0 point, that is at the starting of the pipe, is 3500 approximately, and at the end it is 0, that is at 10 meters the value of pressure is 0. The value of theoretical calculation is 3200 Newton per meter square, that is Pascal, 3200 Pascal, and the value we are getting here is approximately 3500 Pascal. So let's take the average values here by function calculator, clicking the functional tab, and then I am going to go for area average function. I am using the area average at the inlet. I am going to click the value calculate, so I am going to see what is the value. The value is 3539.09. That is the value of pressure at the inlet. Let's see what is the value at the outlet. So the value is less than 0. I will say it is equals to 0. The 4 zeros are there after decimal, so there is no need to use this value. So the pressure drop we are getting in this kind of analysis in which the mesh is very coarse. We have not at all taken care about using the perfect mesh here, or you may say very fine mesh. Still the value we are getting for pressure drop is 3500. Okay, the value is 3500. So if you are going to calculate the error, that is 3500 minus of 3200 divided by 3500, the percentage error is less than 10%. It is 0.08. That means if I'm going to multiply it by 100, so it will be 8.5% error, and it is acceptable. So it's a blind rule for CFD that if your results, CFD results, are having a difference of maximum 10%, those results are okay and acceptable. Okay, so by this we have validated the Hagen-Pauli equation. Okay, by this particular chart actually we have validated the Hagen-Pauli equation. So this is how you are going to perform the analysis for on ANSYS CFX for verifying the Hagen-Pauli's equation. Thank you very much guys. If you are having any kind of doubt, you may kindly write on me on the WhatsApp.